Today on The Social. The federal government has released their 2025 generational budget. Pattie Lovett-Reid joins the panel to explain what this means for everyday Canadians. And should you walk to the same beat? We debate whether walking speed compatibility is integral to romantic relationships. Then, banana pudding parfait, sweet potato spice cake, and more festive desserts for cold weather entertaining from award-winning baker Kareem Mr. Bake Queeman. Plus, strong or soft, boss or bimbo? What does it mean to be feminine today? A new documentary unpacks how social media movements are reshaping identity, power, and womanhood. It all starts now on The Social.
Happy Wednesday and welcome to The Social. Thanks for being here. We haven't seen her in a minute, but you know her, you love her. Financial commentator Pattie Lovett-Reid is back. Thank you. Okay, everybody, big news in Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney unveiled his government's first federal budget meant to prop up, meant to prop up Canada's economy. Now, the plan is to spend nearly $90 billion in net new spending over the next 5 years and a projected $78 billion deficit for this fiscal year. But of course, this budget still does need to be passed, so nothing's happening, at least not yet. But Andrea, what stood out to you in this budget?
Oh my God, what stood out? It was so overwhelming. There's so much information. There was so much stuff, like the increase in spending for defense, that stood out. Lowering bank fees, that was interesting. Trimming the government, and also a weird one out of left field, joining Eurovision. That was very interesting. But Pattie, I want you to break it down for the person who's just worried about putting food on the table and perhaps one day hoping to buy a house. What did this budget say to them? Sorry, Pattie.
Yeah, okay. You know what, to be honest, it didn't say a lot. But what it did say is there wasn't a lot of day-to-day spending, but there is a lot in terms of building for the future and having investment. And so when you think of it, this was a budget that was all about austerity in a little way and investment in a big way. They're not planning for today. They're not even planning for tomorrow. They're planning for the next decade. And what I can tell you is it's a real change. I'll throw out a term. I think Canada has been fairly resilient. This budget is a bold pivot to reinvention. And my last part of that reinvention comes down to, I think our Prime Minister gets that we have to move beyond the U.S. administration protectionism.
Yeah. So I guess it's fair to say that this budget is a generational budget, not a next, tomorrow budget.
Yeah, and you did ask a fair question about what does this mean in terms of putting food on the table. They will take the lowest tax rate from 15% to 14%. That's a 1% move up to $55,000. Now, we have a progressive tax system in Canada. So if you make $35,000, you'll save $350 a year. If you make $55,000 or more, you'll make $550 a year. Is it a lot? No. Is it going to cost a lot? Yes. Probably $27 billion. It's not going to kick in until July next year. But it is something, it is modest, but that is not what this budget was about.
Okay.
It's really interesting because we said off the top there that there's an expected $78 billion deficit.
78.3.
78.3, but what's a 0.3?
Yeah, what's 0.3?
So that means that we are overspending by $78 billion than we are taking in.
Correct.
Isn't that a lot of money in 1 year?
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. $78.3 billion is a lot of money, but the deficit, ideally, as we invest, will start to come down in terms of, you know, what we can create in infrastructure, what we can create through, you know, defense and creating jobs and building for the long term. But when you look at $78.3 billion as a percentage of GDP, it's 2.5%. The acceptable norms are between 2 and 4%. And so what that actually tells us, how do we stack up against the other G7 nations? Right in the middle. I mean, we've been better before, but we haven't had a bold budget like we're having now. And by the way, the projections, they actually surprised me to the downside because the projections were between 70 billion and 100 billion.
Oh,
yeah.
And so it was, and I'm not mad about that. I think, you know, a lot has to go right. I think you're right about this when you sort of say, it's a big number. I mean, you're spending this money to create jobs and growth and a stable economy. So,
sometimes you need to spend money to make money, right? Like that's a basic.
haven't we always said that?
Yeah, we have always said that for sure. So the one thing that caught my eye was the government also aims to cut another 30 to 40,000 jobs, or around 10% from the federal public service. So, I mean, people are hearing that number. Many people work in the public federal service. So should Canadians be concerned?
Sure. You know what, I do think you should be concerned. Anytime you hear a cut, and this is in the tune of about 10% of the federal government workforce, I think you are concerned. I think we have to look at where are the cuts, how transparent are they, how are they being structured, regionally, are they going to be fair? Will there be a contingency plan put into place should we have a crisis? What will this mean to services? And so I think it's all about how this happens, how it gets rolled out. I don't know too many. When I look at the monthly job numbers, you see private sector hiring and then you see public sector hiring, and it has often skewed towards that. And so I think there's going to be a balancing out there. You just hope that it's not a hollowing out there.
Okay.
There are some people who are calling this budget a Trump survival plan. And we are in the midst of like this unprecedented trade war, and we no longer have a reliable partner in the United States as far as a trade partner. We are still talking about, are we going to renegotiate this free trade deal with the US and Mexico in the next year? So how does this budget fit into that world? Because I did not see any language that said, well, this is the budget if we do get a great free trade deal. And I also didn't hear the language, this is the budget if we don't get a free trade deal.
Because you know what? I'm not sure at this point it matters. And I say that, I know, I felt the body language. No, but here's why. You know, it's, when I talk about personal finance ad nauseum, some would say, I talk about diversification. Everything went wonderfully well when we were dealing with the US and we had a good trading relationship until it didn't go well. And the fact is, it's like anything. When you're in an investment and it's doing really, really well, you think, hey, it only has one way to go up. And that's not the case. It can go down and the trajectory can change. It has changed. So it is time for Canada to move on and to build better relationships, additional relationships. And it'll be great if we get back to something with the US, but it can't be only the US. And I think that's what this is all about right now.
So on a lighter note, Andrea mentioned it earlier, Eurovision was mentioned, which just seemed utterly random.
Are you going to ask me to sing?
It was just so odd. I actually thought initially it was a play on words. Like we have a vision for Europe. We got a Eurovision, right? Like we're trying to separate ourselves from the US. I thought, oh, how clever. It turns out it's actually a wildly popular international song contest.
I know, but I looked it up on ChatGPT, and it still didn't help me.
But so Carney was mentioning how he thought that CBC might be involved in this. Like, what did you think of this?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Thank you for being honest.
No, I really didn't. Can we go back to talking numbers?
Yeah.
We could have an infrastructure spend $1 trillion. You don't care about that.
Eurovision.
I just,
okay.
well, I just thought, listen, we work in the arts, we work in media, and the fact that did not go lost on me was that the budget includes roughly $400 million intended to, quote, grow Canada's creative industries and help Canadian talent succeed in an increasingly digital and global marketplace. We should all feel really happy and proud of that.
We should.
People who care.
Absolutely.
What I heard from that was just like, you know, we have spent so much time as Canadians looking to our neighbors to the south for our content, for our, for our identity in some cases.
So true.
And I think we really, this to me marks something quite profound. Forget about Eurovision for a moment, but just in general, to be supporting the arts, it
that's
matters.
Great. Yes,
really
it does. No,
matter.
the arts do matter. Yes.
Yes.
I could not have said it better.
Okay, then we'll just leave it there for you, Patty.
That is wonderful. Okay, we have broken age. Feel a little better? I do. We understand this a little better. Okay, that's the point. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then is walking at the same speed an integral part of compatibility with your partner? So one woman says that her partner's fast pace is getting in the way of their relationship. Funny story, we'll share it with you after this.
Tomorrow on The Social, pleased to meet you. What to expect when the country comes to the city at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so we'd love to see you here live in studio. The only way to do it is to scan the QR code that's on the screen right now for more information. There it is. Thank you, Vanna White. Open the camera on your phone, and it'll open up to the website, and we'd love to see you here in studio.
We would love it. So a reader, come visit us. Bring your friends. So a reader wrote to the Skims etiquette column saying, my partner walks faster than me, and whenever we go anywhere, I feel like I'm either rushing to catch up or annoyed that I'm being left behind. I brought it up before, but he just brushes it off. So how important is walking speed compatibility with your partner? Mel?
Oh, wow. Okay, this happens in my neighborhood every day. I walk every day with my dog, and first thing in the morning, I'm walking down, and it's the same turn, and this couple is on the same schedule. The husband is like 2 meters at least ahead of his wife every time, and he's walking like he's trying to catch a bus, and the wife looks like she's struggling to keep up, and I see it every day. It's been years, and I'll tell you something, I look at them and I just think, what is that marriage like? Is that weird to say? Because there's a thing called motor synchrony. Have you ever been at the gym and you're walking on the treadmill and then all of a sudden you start matching the pace of the person next to you? And then I don't know if you're like me, then I purposely skip so that I'm not doing the same pace. Motor synchrony is something unconscious that when you're with somebody, you start to mimic each other's gestures, you start to walk the same pace. So I just think if you don't have synchrony, are you going to get divorced?
Okay,
Maybe.
wait. Can I jump in before?
Please, Patty.
Oh, yeah. I will crush my husband in a walk.
Oh.
Absolutely. I get out there and I will walk. If we go running together and we're training, we've trained for some half marathons together and a marathon, I am 3 paces ahead of him. And he goes, is this disrespectful? And I go, no. Now, if he does, yes, it is disrespectful. I'm just kidding. But what we've decided is there are times when we will walk together. And I wish I'd known we were talking about it because Jim is from the military and he had his friends in the military take a picture of us walking the military march and told me, this is how you do it, Patty. This is how a team comes together.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's something to be said about that. But bottom line is, you know what? If I play tennis with him, I will drill the ball down his throat. I will. I know I'm going to get hate mail, but you know what? We've been married 30 years. I love him to death.
It's working.
It's working.
Anyway,
So my point is, it can still work.
Yeah, and it works for you, right, Tim?
Well, I mean, I just know I'm the same as you, Patty. Like, there have been times when I've been definitely guilty of this. I just don't think, I think there's 1,000,001 things that could be considered orange flags or red flags. This, for me, is not one.
Yeah.
Is it for you?
That's a good way to do it.
Here's the deal. You know what? When I see a woman walking ahead of her husband and she's exercising, I wouldn't even think twice. But there's something about watching a husband walk faster than his wife.
Aren't
and I'll
we
tell
being
you.
sexist,
Listen,
though?
listen.
Isn't that
I'm going to
sexist,
take you back to a time to defend my opinion. January inauguration, 2026. Outgoing VP Kamala Harris and First Gentleman Doug are standing on the steps. A car pulls up with the incoming VP, one JD Vance, and he forgets to wait for his wife, who is in the car getting the kids, and Doug, first husband, had to like give him the hand, like, wait, your wife's not with you. And for me, that moment was so cringe and also made me look at their marriage. I did not even think about these people. But as soon as I saw that, I go, that marriage, that is not a good look. This is a special day, and you didn't even look back for your wife, who's dressed up there to support you. So for me, it's a little bit of a red flag. Yeah. But you, jam it down his throat, Patty.
I hope he's not watching.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Jim watching today? Maybe
but
not.
He would say I did do that.
Listen, because you're so darn smart and you know numbers, this is why we love to have you here today. So thank you for joining us, Patty. Thank you so much. Now, Sin, you're going to stay here and keep Patty company because Andrea and I, we're going to head over because we have someone special to say hello to right now.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. How are you?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you, ladies.
If you know, you know, but if you don't know, this is Dwayne Rosario. He is a FIFA icon. He has represented the Canadian men's national team for nearly 20 years, and he is a 4-time Major League Soccer champion and the first Canadian to win the MLS Cup MVP. So put your hands together.
Thank you so much
for being here.
Introduction.
All right, so Dwayne, what impact do you think it's going to have on Canadians to be experiencing the World Cup right here on Canadian soil?
Well, I could just go back in history to my younger self when I was a young aspiring kid growing up in Scarborough, inner city metro housing, and just hoping one day to represent Canada at the national team level. Now, are we not only hosting the World Cup here in Canada, we're also having the opportunity now to see World Cup stars here in our own backyard. And I know the ripple effect that that's going to have across so many communities across the GTA that all love football. We all migrated here to Canada with football. Most countries came here with football as number one on their hearts. And now having the opportunity to host the World Cup is a great way for us to showcase not only our rich diversity, but our passion for the sport.
Yes,
absolutely.
That.
Now, I just talked about all the great things that you've done, but despite your tremendous success, you've competed in 5 World Cups qualifying cycles without ever reaching the tournament. I hate to bring that up. So how do you feel watching this generation have that opportunity to do that? Does it sting a little bit?
For sure, but I'm happy to know that we have qualified for Qatar, right? And now that we're hosting it. And again, we're seeing the impact that professional soccer has had. Major League Soccer coming to Toronto, to Canada in 2007. A lot of these players on our national team now have gone through that pathway, just like my sons who are professionals now. And now it's tangible, now it's real. And we're also a city that not only boasts of professional men's team, but also we have a thriving, rich professional women's league as well.
Awesome. Amen to the women's league too. So Dwayne, before we get to the last question, we have some surprise guests. We have our mascots, Maple the Moose, Clutch the Bald Eagle, and Zayu the Jaguar, who are joining us in studio. Come on in, mascots. Come on in. Come on in. Oh my, hi everybody. These are official FIFA World Cup mascots, y'all.
Where to get it?
We're like, what? Here we are.
Well, Dwayne, wherever you are.
Yes, I'm here.
We'll squeeze in.
What do we know? Tell us a little bit about what we need to know about Team Canada ahead of the World Cup competition.
Well, we're a team that likes to play on our front foot. We're an exciting team. We're a young team. We're a team that likes to take our game to opposing team, and I think that's what the fans want to see. They want to see exciting football. They want to see attacking football, and that's what we're going to see in 2026.
We love this. Well, Dwayne, mascots.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being with us today. The countdown is officially on. The FIFA draw happens on December the 5th and World Cup 26. It kicks off June 2026. TSN, CTV, and RDS are Canada's exclusive home for all the soccer action. Thanks for being here, and we'll be right back. We love those. You just saw a few of the spots from a new Bell campaign that highlights technology's intimate role in our everyday lives. Now, we use it to stay connected, and as the commercials remind us, connection is everything.
Yes, connection certainly means everything to me. Being connected to my friends and family is what pulls me through the good and the bad times. So I want to know, how do you use your devices to create moments of connection in real life? Cynthia, I'll start with you.
You know what I've noticed that I do, and I don't know if other people do this, but I send texts even when I can't make a phone call to people, just to be like thinking of you, just to let people know that they're on my mind. And I feel like that's a way of sort of like just, I don't know, remaining in somebody's orbit. And then I was thinking about social media and the way that it can sometimes be really disconnecting, but the way that I've been using it lately is to send like memes. Like I'll think of somebody, like for example, Jess Allen, our co-host, who loves cats, talks about her cat. So I sent her this meme, or I often send her a meme involving, this guy who told this story about his cat being like a dog. I got so much joy out of this little video. This guy walks around with his cat. The cat also has a big, it loves to go in the baby thing. The cat likes Dijon mustard. Anyway, I just found this fascinating, and I think it brought Jess a lot of joy. And my sister and I often will send things that remind us of our past, like this Sears catalog. This came across. Did you guys see this? Yes. I think everyone had this 1992 Sears catalog.
Oh,
Just check out the styles at the time. The bathroom.
Remember that?
Remember these bathrooms,
Yes.
you guys? The static cling you can feel, and the stinky bathroom.
Yeah.
Again, these types of things that pop across are like the things that make it all meaningful and very connecting in a place that can be disconnecting. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, a little horrifying also. What a trip down memory lane.
Right?
I think for me, it was especially during the pandemic, the group chat, which has always existed, went to a whole new level with my Filipino family. And because we couldn't get together and we're always together, once the first WhatsApp group chat was initiated, we're now at about 60 some odd people on one Filipino group chat.
Wow.
And so I love my family to death, but when you have a big group of people, there's a lot of birthdays and anniversaries and things to acknowledge. So, and our family, it's like if the first birthday message comes in, guess what? Everybody's expected to follow suit. So my phone is ding, 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 and I love it, but it is actually the way, if we can't be together, we are at least together and celebrating one another. So that is the real deal. Love you. Love you all.
Which is, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So listen, we know that you can definitely learn a lot about somebody by going through their phone, although I don't know if we're recommending that necessarily. So I thought it would be fun to connect on a whole new level on a game. It's a little game that we like to call Connection Confessions.
Operator.
Okay. So this is basically a rapid fire quiz. The only rule is that you have to answer honestly. Okay, so Cynthia, you're up first. Who is the last person that you texted and why?
Mine's answer is really boring. I texted my neighbor about, because they texted me about a package that had been left, and I was trying to coordinate with other neighbors because no one was home. Anyway, it was one of those functional texts.
Functional.
Anyway,
That's nice.
That's kind of normal.
Relatable. Okay, Andrea, the last photo that you shared and why?
The last photo I shared was with my trainer because of my schedule, I can't see him regularly. So I said, I'm gonna work out in the morning before I go to work. And he's like, are you? And I'm like, I will send you a photo every time I'm in the gym so you know that I did it. So my last photo was a picture of me in the gym proving to him that I got my workout in. See? Proof.
I'm sorry, Smoke Show.
A little bit of abs.
A little bit of abs, a little bit of arm. Okay, the last screen grab that you shared and why, Cynthia?
Oh, well, this one was a little bit of a sad thing. Jason's dad is in the hospital right now. He had a fall, he broke his hip. And so Jason and I have been having conversations about, you know, what the logistics will be of him going back home or maybe not. So I was sending ideas like maybe we should take a garage and turn the garage into a studio apartment. So these were just the last screen grabs. Again, it's sort of like the way that sometimes long-term partners have to communicate about things when you don't, you know, you don't have the time together to
They're
talk.
both great options.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
both
Thank
great
you.
options.
Yes.
And thank you so much for sharing that, and I hope he feels better soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Switching gears to memes, Andrea, last meme that you sent.
Okay, I love a good meme, and the last one that I sent was of Wesley Snipes. He played a character, Nino Brown, if you know, you know. He played this really bad drug dealer. So whenever I'm like, my friends send me something that really like frustrates me, I'm really angry, I just send this photo just to let them know where my mood is at. I'm like, I'm Nino Brown right now. So that's my favorite one.
This has been a lot of fun, and now I know not to email Cynthia if I want to connect with you, because I also heard through the grapevine that maybe your inbox number is not zero.
Yes. Okay, we'll talk about that in another episode. That's right.
I'm going to connect with you on phone calls. Phone calls
that's right.
for Cynthia.
That's right.
We always want to hear from you as well, so reach out to us on social media at The Social CTV. It is the way that we get to connect with you, our viewers. Share what is on your mind. We love to read it. And after all, as we know, connection is everything. Let's take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Welcome back. Our next guest is on a mission to make the food industry more diverse and inclusive, and he's breaking barriers along the way. He recently made history as the first Black and gay man to be nominated for the prestigious James Beard Award in the Outstanding Pastry Chef or Baker category.
That is amazing. We are thrilled that he is joining us today with some of his favorite festive desserts for cold weather entertaining. Please welcome to the social, Kareem, Mr. Bake Queenan.
Yes.
Hello, ladies. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so what do we call you, Kareem or Mr. Bake? Which one do
Mr.
you
Bake,
prefer?
let's do it. Everybody
All right,
calls me
Mr.
Mr. Bake on the street, so come on.
All right, so you have a lot of good food, but I want to get
Yes.
into something that's very personal to you. I understand that you realized there was limited representation in the food industry.
Correct.
And you wanted to do something about that. Talk to me about that mission.
Yes, absolutely. So I've been in this space for over 20 years now, and I did my first competition, and I thought about, wait, there's nobody that looked like me in baking and pastry leaders in media or in food space in general, getting James Beard nominated, having Michelin star restaurants or bakeries, things like that. And I said, you know what? God put it in me. I'm going to make that change. I'm going to become the trailblazer.
Yes,
So,
you
yes.
are.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Well, we can't have you here and not have some of your amazing treats. So let's begin with some of the gorgeous things that you brought with us today.
Yes.
So we're going to start with the dessert that landed you your very first award. Wait, back in high school.
Yes.
Walk us through your...
Baby bake.
We're going to assemble...
Baby bake.
Yes, your banana pudding parfait.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
take
yes,
us through
yes.
it.
So first, we start with homemade.
Oh, we're doing this.
Custard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Homemade
you can
custard,
start with a you can start with a little bit
So
of start with a
it's
little bit of
cookies
custard.
first?
Wait, what first?
Custard.
Oh, custard. Okay, how
At
much?
the bottom.
Oh, my.
So right
We're
now,
off to a great start.
you want to put
Beat
about
it.
1/3.
Okay.
Then you want to
What?
do some cookies, and you can come over here and
Oh.
do this, and then
Okay,
bananas.
yeah.
Okay, so
and just continue to keep
do I
doing
need more
that.
cookies?
You can do as many cookies as you want.
Thank
You
you very
can
much.
build up the cookies on the side.
Okay.
Yep.
And now I'm going to put a little banana.
Yes.
Okay.
And just keep doing that process
Okay.
until you get to the top.
Okay.
And then you want to finish it off with either some crushed up
Oh,
cookies.
so you're layering
You're
as we go.
literally, this is the
Got
parfait.
it.
This is the fun. This is when you get your kids in there.
Oh, and get
you get the
everybody to
neighbors in
participate.
there. Exactly. This is
All right.
actually we get the kids to do it. And you get your glass
Okay.
of
All
wine.
right, so let's talk about pudding, because the
Yes.
only pudding I've ever had comes out of a little plastic container and I lick the lid when I peel it off.
Yes.
But you're saying that we should be making our pudding?
Listen, I'm a pastry chef, so I'm always going to say you should make
Okay.
your pudding.
Okay.
But I started this recipe, and the recipe I did in high school
Yeah.
was actually instant.
Oh.
So yes, so
Wow.
exactly. So I was doing an instant pudding mix because I wasn't baking from scratch then.
No.
So I was doing an instant pudding mix. So you can still do the instant pudding, but I love making my own custard because I can control how much sugar goes in there.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's healthy.
okay.
Exactly. A little bit more
All
healthy.
right, fine,
A little
Mr.
more
Bake.
healthy.
We'll make
you
it
know
healthy.
what? I think for a lot of people, when they make pudding, it often requires gelatin.
Correct.
So if we don't have gelatin, though, and also if you don't eat pork, also.
Yes, because gelatin has
And,
pork.
right? And
Yeah.
okay, so does that change the consistency or taste if we're changing any of those up?
No, you can actually switch gelatin for cornstarch. Which cornstarch is actually used for a lot of custards and puddings because of the creamy texture. But because I then fold in heavy whipping cream after I make the custard, I like that to be so that the gelatin holds that and it's more pliable. So that when you lay this, when you set this overnight and you pick that scoop up,
You can feel it.
everything is held right in place.
Oh, we like that.
Delicious.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let me taste it now.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like,
did this put a
I'm
nigga-
still building.
Okay,
You
okay,
are-
okay, okay.
So, all right, so let's talk whipped cream. Another food that I've only eaten out of the can.
Ooh.
But you're...
Sorry.
I feel so much judgment. But you're a baker. But you're saying it's better if we make
Yes,
it.
and it's simple to make. You
Is
get you some heavy whipping
Simple,
cream.
easier than this?
Yes, it is. Just you're not a bartender.
Okay.
So you get you some heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
You
Oh
get
my
you a
God.
cold attachment and a cold mixer bowl, and that can either be a handheld or a stand mixer. Cold, and that cold can be up to 10 to 5 minutes. And you pour your heavy whipping cream in there and let that thing get big and volume up.
Yeah.
You can add vanilla extract, powdered sugar. That's how you sweeten it up right there.
Mine's gone.
I know. What did you think? I don't. Wait,
It's
first.
amazing.
I was like, I'm still building. I didn't know we were eating. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
you gotta dig in.
Oh my God. Okay. That was an award winner in high school.
Yes.
Why don't we move on to another one of your award-winning desserts
Yes.
that has a very special significance for you
Yes.
and your baking journey. It's a sweet potato spice cake. Tell us about it.
Yes. You like that? Okay. So my sweet potato spice taste.
Wow.
My sweet potato spice cake is an homage to my Aunt Janet, who is known for making her sweet potato pies every Thanksgiving. So she would give out pies for free. And I was scared for pies. I was scared of pies for a very long time. And then I started making the sweet potato cake, and that has become another classic for every holiday season. Yes.
It's
you like
phenomenal.
You want to move in with me?
Honey, it's like a tight hug, isn't it? Isn't it like a tight hug?
That is so good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank
Okay.
you.
My mouth is full, but I gotta move on to this next one.
Yeah.
Because every single word in this tastes sounds more delicious. So it's a brown butter white chocolate cranberry blondie.
Boom! You got it, girl.
Talk to us about
Yes,
this
so
one.
that is a play on that Starbucks cranberry bliss bar. And I just upped it up a notch by burning the butter to really add a nutty flavor.
Oh, yeah.
And then I add a little orange zest in there sometimes and top it off with homemade cream cheese or white chocolate.
Forget it. I'm moving in with you. You're not moving in with me.
No, I'm moving in with you, girl. I'm coming up here.
That is phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I can't believe we have one last dessert.
Okay,
to
I
get
know,
to.
I'm stuffing
and
you
it's
up.
another one of your nostalgic
Yes,
classics,
yes.
which we love. So tell us about the red velvet cake.
Yeah, so it's a classic red velvet cake. The only difference is I make mine with oil because I like the moisture that oil locks into cakes. But I amped it up a little bit by adding a chocolate ganache in there so you really drive the chocolate flavor in.
What
Because
am
a
I
red
doing?
velvet cake is
I'm
not
going in.
traditionally a chocolate cake, but that
Correct.
ganache is gonna rev it up to create this chocolate
Say that
feeling.
again. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do?
Lift it up, really rev it up, baby. You know what I mean? I feel like we was in a church house right there. Woo!
I was like,
Wow.
wow. Cake church.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have any tips for making red velvet? Besides the oil.
Yeah, that would be the oil. I like the dump method. So you mix all your wet ingredients in one and all your dry ingredients in another. Make sure you read the recipe fully. And that's really read the recipe. A lot of people don't want to read.
Okay. Okay, read. That's
They
all
just
we
want
do.
to see it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Pick up a book. Pick up a book. Kareem, this was phenomenal.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. And you guys
Out of
ate
this
everything
world.
too.
We ate everything. For later.
Yeah, don't go into
You can
that.
catch Mr. Bake as a judge on the new season of Holiday Bake Shop that airs Sundays on the Flavor Network.
Yes.
More of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, lady.
Yes. Let's take a quick break, everybody, and then writer and director Susan Schaefer and Canadian Olympic medalist Alysha Newman tell us about their new documentary, Big Feminine Energy, right after this.
I just need that whole game.
Okay, then.
All right, welcome back. Big Feminine Energy is a new CBC documentary that takes viewers deep inside the viral world of so-called feminine content, unpacking how social media movements are reshaping identity, power, and womanhood. Take a look.
Feminine identity is big business.
I launched on OnlyFans. I don't mind people sexualizing me. I use it as my little weapon.
Some women are really embracing this traditional view of femininity.
The trad wife trend.
We believe in gender roles in our marriage. They have a reason why they're influencing you, and I know this because that was me.
Please welcome to the show writer-director Susan Schaefer and featured in the documentary Canadian Olympic medalist Alysha Newman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for being here, ladies.
Susan, as we saw from that clip, there are so many messages that women are coming at women every single day about what it means today to be quote-unquote feminine. There's the question, I go, are we strong? Are we soft? Are we modern? Are we traditional? Are we bimbos? Are we bosses? So why was this a topic that you knew you wanted to explore?
Yeah, so the film started as a companion piece to another documentary called Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which explored masculinity trends. And there was a real appetite appetite to look at the other side of the conversation. What's going on with femininity today? What are the trends there? And when we started to look at it, we couldn't even quantify how many trends there were. They get billions of views and millions of videos are generated. So we thought this is a good way into the story to use these trends as a backbone to kind of connect with different women that are experiencing them firsthand.
Absolutely. All right, so Alysha, let me make sure I get this right. You were the first Canadian athlete to bring home an Olympic medal for the women's pole vault. So we need to give you a round of applause for that. What's interesting is there seemed to be, after that win, a lot of attention paid to the way you looked and the way you moved your body. Were you surprised by that?
I don't think I'm ever surprised by that because a lot of what we do is physical, right? Like being an athlete, you're muscular and then you have a butt or you have no boobs or, you know, and I feel like it becomes your identity, and a lot of people think that it's like a negative thing, but like I'm an Olympic medalist because I have this. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that that's what I really try to always focus on when it comes to that.
Good.
So in the film, you actually talk very openly about your sexuality and your relationship to it, and you also share that you joined OnlyFans in 2021.
Yes.
So what was that process like? Was that a hard decision to come to, or was it sort of like, I really need to do this?
I think anything you do, like even being a track athlete and knowing I'm not going to be paid well, it was a leap of faith. And going on OnlyFans, I didn't know how that was going to come back for my parents, for my siblings, for everyone. But I did recognize how strong the platform was trending. And being a little entrepreneurial, I knew that there's no bad media. And so for me launching that, as long as I knew what I was posting on there and I was comfortable with it, I was going to monetize myself on my own terms, and that was the best part of it.
Yeah, you're in control.
So we were talking earlier, like OnlyFans, I know there's a lot of mixed perception out there. Some people think it's only pornography. I don't think either one of us have subscriptions to it, so we don't actually know. We don't actually know. So how would you describe what it is that you do?
Yeah, so pretty much it's a day in a life. Everyone kind of knows the Alex Earl of our Get Ready With Me, our big TikToker, but in Canada, we weren't paid on TikTok. And so the only way that I knew that I could monetize what I did day in and day out was on OnlyFans. And so what I do every day, eat, sleep, drink, my routines, when I tore everything in my ankle leading into the Olympics, all my acupuncture, the chiro I was getting, it was all live streamed. And I made a good lump sum of cash. And once I started seeing that, again, I had launched it in 2020 because it was a COVID Olympics and no tickets were sold for the Olympics. So I was like, OnlyFans, I'm gonna bring the fans to the Olympics with me. Smart. And I was like, I'll keep it for the 16 days. Well, it blew up. And I was like, oh, all right. And 5 years later, I'm still on it. And again, it serves its purpose for me. I'm very much financially independent for myself. I get to post when I want. I get to talk to my fans when I want. And it's just an incredible, uplifting community because they're invested, right?
Yeah, I love that. All right, so Susan, you started off the conversation talking about all the messaging that is sent to women. And one of those messages is the trad wife trend. Now, in this doc, you discuss the research that actually reveals that most women weren't happy in their traditional roles. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, the trad wife movement is a huge trend, and a big part of it is sort of romanticizing the past. This idea that people were happier in the past, things were simpler, we had our gender roles. So we wanted to look at the data of what the past actually told us. And when housewives from that time period were interviewed, they revealed that we aren't really that happy. We don't feel a sense of fulfillment or equality. And that's what sort of sparked the 60s wave of feminism and equality. So there's a big irony there when it comes to the trad wife movement.
Yeah, people are selectively romanticizing certain parts of it, even though it wasn't actually accurately that way at the time.
That's right.
Alysha, you mentioned in the film, which I thought was really interesting, that femininity and in particular beauty have become more and more important in sport as a way of trying to achieve pay equity with male athletes. So can you tell us more about that and the pay inequality piece as well?
Well, I think right now we're doing such a great job as female athletes to really set that standard and raise the bar, that we're going to these meetings and we're putting our foot down and we want to be paid equally. I know the tennis girls are doing that right now. And so, but women have so many attributes. Why wouldn't we benefit from what we're great at? And I think that that's been something that I've always been so passionate about. It's not just going to be a beauty look. Something could be a mindset that you have is beautiful. And I think a lot of times we're raised on staying in this little box of trying to be fit in this way because we're supposed to do something like this. And social media and the world that we're in now, there's so much capabilities of being successful at a high level where everybody's can be successful. And that's what I was trying to express is these are what I feel my most strengths are. So I'm going to focus on my strength, which is my athleticism, my beauty, my mind, my entrepreneurial skills, and let's just cash it all out.
But was the motivation, I'm just curious about this because like, it was the motivation to get to, like, cause you make, can you talk about just generally as an athlete, how much you were making as an Olympian?
Yeah, so I mean, the government, the CAP program is $21,000 a year.
$21,000 a year for what she does. Like that's just, I just want people to recognize that. And how much would male athletes around the same?
So they would make that, but like my Nike contract would probably be like 20% what a guy would make.
Okay. Okay. So oh, that's interesting.
So even with the even with the brand partnerships, you're not making as much.
No, not at all. And then you go on to each events. So sprinters will make more than pole vaulters, and pole vaulters will make more than throwers. So it just like keep taking percents off as you go, and then all of a sudden, oh, you have Instagram followers, we'll add a couple extra $1,000 because you have followers.
Oh, wow.
So you start to figure out these loopholes to try to make a living and to try to do something, because when you look at Olympic athletes, we're not there because of the money. We're there to put on a maple leaf and to represent the country at its highest level. And thank you. and that's been my favorite part of track. But I recognized after doing one Olympics that I wanted to do another one, and now I've done third, got a medal, and I want to do one more. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to start from ground zero when I'm 34. That ain't right. So why don't I use what I'm really good at, talking, showing my athleticism, my beauty, and doing as much as I can to monetize myself right now as an athlete, and then figure it out after.
Smart businesswoman. That's what I'm looking at. Wow.
Try.
All right, so Susan, in the doc, Sarah Lacey actually discusses the anti-feminist perspective that says that women making money on their sexuality is not empowering because it's still playing into the male gaze. What were your thoughts on her opinion?
Yeah, like yourselves, I'm not a user of OnlyFans, so I can only speak to it from the outside. But I think when we try to make sense of these trends, we often want to put them in boxes. Are they good or are they bad? Are they empowering or are they not? And I think that's missing an opportunity to have a bigger curiosity around why people are using OnlyFans. And it's like femininity itself. It's so individual in terms of the motivation of what's drawing people to it. So I think having these real conversations about it is so beneficial.
Fantastic. Congratulations on the documentary. Great work. Thank you so much for stopping by the show.
Susan
and Alysha, thank you so much. You can catch Big Feminine Energy on CBC Gem. We'll be right back. Don't move. That was fantastic.
Oh, Canada. On The Social, we're talking about what you're talking about. About the big things
and the small things
that matter to us. So join us! Weekdays at 2. Tomorrow on The Social, we have a few special guests dropping by to tell us what this year has in store at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. That's when the country comes to the city. So tune in tomorrow for that. Also, musician Alan Doyle. He is going to be back here with us tomorrow. And he's got stories about Newfoundland and his new book. Also, he'll give us a scoop on his brand new tour because he's going to be hitting across the country as well. Did you all have fun today? So good. I'm still digesting all the sweets because what happens is when we have those cooking segments, a lot of the food ends up backstage. So thank you, Mr. Bate, because we've got lunch and dinner set today. Thank you to all our guests. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in as well. We've got our show on Crave tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye-bye.